Welcome back to eCBSE online classes. We are continuing the module real numbers for class 10th mathematics. The specific topic of today's video is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. This is part C of the video series. In the previous video, we have looked at Euclid's division lemma and algorithm. Today we are going to focus on the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Now let's look at the definitions of prime numbers and composite numbers. A prime number is a natural number greater than 1 that is not a product of two smaller natural numbers. A natural number greater than 1 that is not a prime is called a composite number. So let us look at some of the numbers from 1 to 100 and then see how we can come up with a list of prime numbers. So these are numbers 1 to 100. 1 is not a prime number, so let us delete that. And now let us slowly start removing all the multiples of some numbers. So let us start with 2. 2 is our first prime number. All the multiples of 2 will not be prime numbers. So let us start deleting the multiples of 2. So the first multiple of 2 apart from 2 is 4. Let's remove that. And next is 6. Next is 8. And similarly, we'll remove all the even numbers because all even numbers are multiples of 2. Now next comes number 3. So 3 is divisible by only 3. So that is also a prime. And we need to remove all the multiples of 3 apart from 3. So what is the next multiple of 3? That is 6, which is already removed. Next multiple is 9. Let's remove that. Next multiple is 12, which is already removed. And next multiple is 15. Let's remove that. And similarly, continue the process until all the multiples of 3 are removed. So that leaves the next number is 5. Again, it is divisible only by 5. So that's a prime number. We need to remove all the multiples of 5. So the multiple of 5 that is left here is 25. Remove that. 35. Remove that. And similarly, all the multiples of 5 I'm removing. So next comes number 7. Again, 7 is divisible only by 7. So that's a prime number. So we are left with multiples of 7, which are like 49, 77 and 91. Okay, I guess that's it. So all the remaining numbers which are displayed here on the board are prime numbers because they are not divisible by any other numbers. But you don't need to remember all of these. Just remember the first 8 which will be of use when you are solving some exercise problems. Now we can say that any natural number can be written as product of its prime factors. Underline the word prime here. Let us start with an example. I'm taking a number 88,088. So as I said in the previous slide, let us remember the first few prime numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17 and 19. So let us start factorizing this number 88,088. It is an even number, so it is divisible by 2. So we can write this as 2 into 44,044. Again an even number, so we can write this as 2 into 22,022. Again an even number, so we can write this as 2 into 11,011. So this is not an even number, so 2 is no more a factor of this. So we need to try next prime number, that is 3. Here the sum of the digits are coming out as 4. So 4 is not a multiple of 3. So this number is not divisible by 3. Again the last digit is 1. So if a number has to be divisible by 5, the last digit has to be either 0 or 5. So this is not even a multiple of 5. So let us try 7. So if we divide this 11,011 divided by 7, it's coming out as 7 into 1573. So let's try 11 now. It is coming out as 11 times 143. So 143 is again 11 times 13. So you can write 88,088 as 2 into 2 into 2 into 7 into 11 into 11 into 13. When you write it in a form where primes are raised to their powers, it becomes 88,088 is equal to 2 cube into 7 into 11 square into 13. So we are getting at the basis of fundamental theorem of arithmetic, which is called prime factorization. Now let's look at fundamental theorem of arithmetic. It says every composite number can be expressed as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors occur. Let us look at all the keywords here. Every composite number. So every composite number without exception, this theorem is applicable, and it can be written as product of primes and primes only. It also says the factorization is unique and order doesn't really matter. As we have seen in the previous example, 88,088 is written as 2 cube into 7 into 11 square into 13. Only 2, 7, 11 and 13 are the primes that can make up the number 88,088. No other numbers can make this number. And it also says order doesn't really matter. So it can also written as 7 into 2 cube into 11 square into 13. And it can also be written as 7 into 2 cube into 13 into 11 square, because when it comes to multiplication, the order doesn't really matter. And now you can write the composite number x as product of prime numbers p1, p2 and so on until pn, where if you arrange the prime numbers p1, p2 etc. in the ascending order, like p1 is less than or equal to p2 and p2 is less than or equal to p3 and so on, factorization will be even unique. In other words, the prime factorization of a natural number is unique except for the order of its factors. Now let's look at some numbers here and look at their multiples. First number I'm taking is 2. What are the multiples of 2? 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on, correct? And again next number is 3. So what are the multiples of 3? 3, 6, 9, 12 and so on. Next number I'm taking is 4. What are the multiples of 4? 4, 18, 12, 16 and so on. So are there any common multiples of these? Yes. There are 12, 24, 36 and so on. And out of these common multiples, what is the smallest one? That is 12. So that is our definition of least common multiplier, LCM. The smallest positive number divisible by 2 or more numbers is called least common multiple or LCM of those numbers. So remember this definition. Now let's try to connect the definition of LCM and HCF in one place. So what is our HCF definition? The largest common factor of 2 or more numbers is called the highest common factors, HCF. The smallest positive number divisible by 2 or more numbers is called the least common multiple, LCM of those numbers. Let us look at some examples here. I am taking 12 and 18 as my numbers. So I am trying to factorize them and also look at the multiples of those. So let's start with 12. What are the factors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12 are the factors. For the 18, what are the factors? 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 and 18. And now here, what is the highest common factor here? That is 6. So that's our HCF. And now let's look at the multiples. So for 12, what are the multiples? 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72 and so on. For the 18, it is 18, 36, 54, 72, 90 and so on. Out of these multiples, what is the least common multiple? 36, correct? That is our LCM, 36. Now let us try to do factorization for both these numbers. So when you do prime factorization, 12 is equal to 2 square into 3 and 18 is equal to 2 into 3 square. Now we can use prime factorization to further define LCM and HCF. Using prime factorization, the HCF can be defined as product of the smallest power of each common prime factor in the numbers. Underline the word each common, and also it says smallest power. So here the common primes are 2 and 3 for 12 and 18 and their smallest powers is 2 power 1 and 3 power 1. So if you take product of these two, 2 into 3 is equal to 6. That is exactly our value of HCF, correct? Now let us look at the definition of LCM using prime factorization. It says product of the greatest power of each prime factor involved in the numbers. Here it is each prime, it is not just common factor, it is each prime factor, and again it is raised to the greatest power. So again the prime factors here are 2 and 3, and the greatest powers are 2 square and 3 square. So 2 square multiplied by 3 square is equal to 36. That is exactly what we have got for the value of LCM, correct? Hence verified. Now let's keep both these definitions aside and try to come up with another fact here. For any two positive numbers a and b, it says HCF of a comma b multiplied by LCM of a comma b is equal to a into b. So basically it says if you have two numbers and identified HCF and LCM, product of HCF and LCM is equal to the product of the numbers itself. So let us try to validate with the above example. So HCF and LCM, HCF is 6, LCM is 36, 6 into 36 is 216. A into B, that is 12 into 18, is also 216. So we have verified this fact. So you remember this fact, HCF of A and B multiplied by LCM of A and B is equal to A into B. Now let's look at some application problems. The first problem is find LCM and HCF of the following integers using prime factorization method. There are three problems given here. Let us remember the definitions. HCF is product of the smallest power of each common prime factor in the numbers. LCM is product of the greatest power of each prime factor involved in the numbers. Now let's try to solve the problems one by one. First problem, let us write the numbers here, 12, 15 and 21. Let's do prime factorization. 12 is equal to 2 square into 3. 15 is equal to 3 into 5. 21 is equal to 3 into 7. So what is the common factor here? That is 3. And the smallest power, since all these, all these 3 times, 3 is coming as just to the power of 1. So our HCF is directly 3. Now we need to come up with product of greatest power of all the prime factors. So here prime factors are 2, 3, 5 and 7, correct? For 2 the greatest power is 2 square. For 3 it is just 3 to the power of 1. For 5 it is again 5 to the power of 1. For 7 it is 7 to the power of 1. So LCM is 2 square into 3 into 5 into 7. That's coming out as 420. Now let's go to the second problem. The numbers given are 17, 23 and 29. Here if you notice, all of these are prime numbers, so there are no common factors. So our HCF is directly 1 and LCM is the product of these three numbers. That is 17 into 23 into 29. It's coming out as 11,339. Now let's go to the third problem. The numbers given are 8, 9 and 25. 8 is equal to 2 cube, 9 is equal to 3 square and 25 is equal to 5 square. So here there are no common factors. So HCF will be 1. And how about the LCM? So there are 3 factors here, 2, 3 and 5, and each raised to the greatest power. For 2 it is 2 cube, for 3 it is 3 square, for 5 it is 5 square. So 2 cube into 3 square into 5 square is coming out as 1800. So that is our LCM. So when 2 or more numbers have no common factors, you need to remember that HCF is directly 1 and LCM is the product of those numbers. Please remember this. Now let's go to the second problem. There is a circular path around a sports field. Sonia takes 18 minutes to drive one round of the field, while Ravi takes 12 minutes for the same. Suppose they both start at the same point and at the same time and go in the same direction. After how many minutes will they meet again at the starting point? So let's take, this is the circular field, sports field. This is the starting point, and let us denote path of Ravi in blue color and path of Sonia in red color. So in the first 12 minutes, Ravi completes one round, whereas Sonia completes only 2/3 of the round. And after another 12 minutes, that is after 24 minutes, Ravi completes another round, and whereas Sonia will be somewhere in the middle of the path. But after another 12 minutes, that is after completing total 36 minutes, both will be reaching the starting point. So 36 minutes is the answer for this question. So we need to understand that this is a LCM problem. This is a classic problem of LCM. So by definition, LCM is the product of the greatest power of each prime factor involved in the numbers. So the numbers involved are 18 and 12. Prime factorization, 18 equal to 2 into 3 square, 12 is equal to 2 square into 3. So as per definition of LCM, we need to find the greatest powers of all the prime factors involved. So that is 3 square into 2 square becomes 36. So answer to the above question is Sonia and Ravi will meet at the starting point after 36 minutes. I hope you liked the video. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel eCBSE Online Classes and follow us on Facebook. Thank you.